Every day, the mother had to wrap her son in a carpet and then make him roll out of it over and over again. This was their reality because she and her son had been held captive by a deranged man in a basement for 7 years. During those 7 years, Lucy, the mother, would shout for help through the small basement window, but no one ever heard her. Jack, their captor, was paranoid about them escaping. He replaced the wooden basement door with a heavy metal one. The boy hadn't had a haircut in all those years, and Jack, fearing the boy might use scissors as a weapon, had even dulled the blades of all the knives in the house. Cutting an apple had become a struggle. Despite their dire situation, Lucy never gave up on educating her son. Every day, she taught him to read. As the boy grew older, he began to suspect that there was more to the world than the confines of their small room. He asked his mother what the outside world was like. Lucy, wanting to protect him, told him that the things he saw on TV were make-believe and that the world was no bigger than the room they were in. One night, the sound of the door unlocking startled them. Lucy quickly hid her son in the closet, not wanting him to see the evil man who had imprisoned them. When Jack entered, he didn't bring the usual vitamins for the boy, only some stale, nearly expired bread. Jack had lost his job 6 months earlier and could no longer afford to provide for them. He couldn't even pay the electricity bill. It was the middle of winter, and without heat, they were slowly freezing to death. Determined to prevent tragedy, Lucy decided to tell her son the truth. The world outside was vast and full of wonders. She asked him if he wanted to see it. Seeing the longing in her son's eyes, Lucy made a bold decision. She boiled a pot of water, soaked a towel in it, and pressed it against her son's head. The boy writhed in pain, but Lucy knew she had no choice. After 7 years of captivity, this was their only chance to escape. She then smeared vomit on a pillow to make it look like her son was running a high fever. When Jack came down to the basement, Lucy begged him to take the boy to the hospital, but Jack refused, saying he would get medicine from the pharmacy the next day. Heartbroken, Lucy quickly devised a new plan. She had her son practice rolling himself up in the carpet. Her plan was to make Jack believe the boy had died and take him outside to bury him. At first, the boy was reluctant, but seeing the seriousness in his mother's eyes, he agreed. When the door unlocked again, Lucy quickly wrapped her son in the carpet. As Jack entered, Lucy broke down in tears, claiming her son had died because they hadn't gone to the hospital. Jack, convinced by her grief, carried the carpet out of the basement, planning to bury the boy. As Jack drove, the boy managed to free himself from the carpet. For the first time in his life, he saw the sky and the clouds. He was in awe. He looked at the trees and realized his mother hadn't lied, they were green. As he marveled at the world around him, Jack noticed him in the rearview mirror. The boy jumped out of the car and tried to run. In his panic, he bumped into a stranger. The stranger apologized, but Jack ignored him. When the boy started screaming for help, the stranger realized something was wrong and threatened to call the police. Terrified, Jack abandoned the boy and fled. When the police arrived, they asked the boy where his mother was. He didn't know this was the first time he had been outside in 7 years. Using surveillance footage, the police located the basement where Lucy was being held and rescued her.